to Breaking Dawn this morning, and right now we would like to welcome our first guest with us. She's about to come on set with Abby and myself, and that is Marsha Riley. She's here. We're 22 minutes away from the hour of 7 o'clock, so we have about 20 minutes to chat with her. I really want to talk to her about some of the things that she's doing as relates to this book that she's trying to get into the school curriculum. All right, I think it's a terrific book, and it will go very, very, very far. Now, she has written about a few sports athletes in Trinidad and Tobago, athletes in TNT, people who have made a positive impact. Some of them in particular, Dwayne Bravo is one that she's written about, and while I was reading parts of that, that proposal that she sent here, her book proposal, I was reading parts of it concerning people like Dwayne Bravo, people like Keyshawn Walcott, and what I noticed are some things that I never, ever knew. I never knew how much time Dwayne Bravo put in. I did not know that he started at the age of 5 years old, and he knew what he wanted to be from even that young an age. So, and the sacrifices that they made. People think it's all lime and party and having fun, but it isn't like that. And I think that a book like this could go a long way in teaching young people positive things and how to make their visions a reality or their dreams a reality. So we want to welcome Marsha this morning. Marsha, good morning to you, and welcome to Breaking Dawn. Welcome to Synergy TV.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you. We only spoke on the phone, and of course I want to thank Mr. Alexander, who was here from the Third Force Movement for throwing your name out there to me and saying, you should have Marsha Riley on. She's done some great things. Now, you're very young. You're very young. But seriously, no, you're very young, and you have a daughter.
I do.
Okay, just one.
Just one.
Just one. All right, and from what I understand from reading the bio, you started off. You didn't have it easy coming up.
Not too easy, no.
Not too easy.
No.
So, okay.
Not very easy at all.
Not very easy at all, but somehow you endured.
I did.
And you came out of school and you started with a construction company?
I did.
Right.
I started in a little shack as a receptionist.
A little shack as a receptionist. Yes. And what happened from there?
Well, I really, for me, I saw two salespeople, and I said, but they're horrible. I can do better than this.
Okay.
My intention was to work for summer to get enough money to do SATs, to get a scholarship to go away. And within that summer, I had gotten promoted to a salesperson. I had asked, can you put me into sales?
Okay.
And the response wasn't very good. I was told that women decorate the office.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a woman on a construction site?
If
you know me, I don't really take no for an answer. So I asked if I could do sales from in the office as a receptionist. I said, if I get any sales on my own time, you don't even have to pay me commission. All I want you to do is recognize that customer as mine. Okay. Back then, we didn't have the construction boom that we have now.
Right.
So it was a little bit difficult. But I remember a lot of buildings that are up now, they weren't up, and I would be in my bathing suit on the way to the beach, and I would hear a jackhammer, and I would run into the site. And so, from a receptionist position, my sales I met my quota.
Okay.
And so I then asked for 1 day off from the office to go and get sales, and I then became the top salesperson in the company, so they had no choice but to put me into sales.
And then the company split?
And then the company split.
But you went with the underdog?
Yes.
Rather than the person that hired you originally?
No, actually. The underdog was the person who was the managing director, so he did hire me.
All right.
The executive director was the one that was firmly against a girl going into sales. So I decided I would go with the one who decided, look, fine, we'd at least try you off in the office.
Okay.
Doing the sales in the office. So I went with that person. And that was a challenge because he didn't have enough money. I remember in the beginning, we were working out of his home, and he was a pilot. So he'd be traveling all the time. And I was like, well, you're not here to set up the business. Right. So I think that's what started me into management, because I had no choice but to go and learn how to get VAT registered, how to get the company. I self-learned. I've self-learned. Well, homeschooled, yes. Yes, homeschooled.
No, Abby has a lot of questions, because Abby has two sons?
Yes.
Both of whom, well, she's a soccer mom.
Ah.
She taught her children all over the country to go play football and sports because that's what they like to do. One of her children wants to play for Real Madrid, I think. Who wants to play for Real Madrid? Anyway, but I know that you have a coaching clinic that is on, and I want to talk about this book as well and some of the personalities that you wrote about, and some of them, Keyshawn Walker, Dwayne Bravo, I was reading about there, and how that can play an instrumental role in the development of a child moving forward. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Right.
Which one do you want to talk about first? Let's go with the book.
Well, I guess everything sums up life.
Right.
You know, for me, someone asked me, you know, where did you get that drive? And I remember, you know, it's funny, you sit next to people and you talk with people, and their stories have a huge impact. You know, one of the people that I wrote about was John Rahal. John Rahal dropped out of school at 13 years old. That's something that a lot of people don't know.
Okay.
You know, he grew up in a Rima where it was communal showers, and he had to get up at 3:30 in the morning to line up to have a shower in this galvanized fence thing, something. So the water's freezing cold. And at 9 years old, he goes and he meets, you know, Mr. Nahus when they're doing their shopping and whatever. And his son is like, so why don't y'all just get a water heater? And he's like, well, what's a water heater?
What is that?
Wow.
So that was his first lesson in business. He wanted something. He went to his dad and said, well, you know, I want a water heater. And he said, okay, well, how much is the water heater? So he went, he priced it, and he got on telling all his brothers, and they have a lot of siblings, we getting a water heater, no more cold water. So he gave him the money. He said, well, you know, it's $60 for the water heater. Look. So when he gave him the $60, now we tell him, go and buy $60 worth of clocks. He said, but Daddy, I don't want a water heater, I don't want clocks. He said, just go and buy clocks. Take taxi, go down to Port of Spain and get clocks. So you make him stand up, put out in a Rima market, put out a table, put out his clocks, and you show him how to mark it up and whatnot. He said, now take the $60 and go and buy more clocks. Take the extra money, and there's an envelope called profit. And he had to do that several times. When he eventually got $60 worth of profit, he said, now give me back my $60, take your $60 in profit, and go and buy a water heater.
Wow.
That was how he started.
Wow.
9 years old. And so things like that, I remember after that now, my daughter now has a little muffin shop. Because you want something, go and sell some muffins, and we're going to get the money and you'll buy your muffins.
How old is she?
She's 5.
She has her own muffin shop.
She has a little muffin shop. But again, that has come from the stories that I have picked up. You know, I've been blessed. I mean, I remember living in England, talking to people like Stern John. Stern, his friends would pick up bottles in fets to be able to pay for his boots, to be able to pay for his first tour away.
Wow.
You know, and these kinds of stories had really impacted on me because I felt as if they could do it, I can do it too. You know, I remember meeting, I know that's not a popular name, but I remember meeting Darian and Daryl Warner. And at that time, I was doing sales and I was earning a lot more money than I'd ever imagined. Of course, that money was not remotely enough to live the lifestyle that you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that time, I was about 20.
Yeah.
You're driving a new car, you're living in your own apartment.
At 20.
You're living a good life, you know? So I would be working somewhat 4 to 5 hours a day because the sales, I mean, I think the best thing you could do is put a woman on a construction site to do sales.
All right.
You know,
all right.
so
Well, women taking over the place, you know, to be honest, women take over the place.
I think so. It's smart fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, I remember Darian and Daryl saying to me, well, you know, if you're working 4 hours for the day, because they're workaholics, you know, everybody knows Jack Warner, what times he works and whatnot. He said, well, if you're putting double the amount of money, hours, you'll get double money. And that was the start of learning how to work backwards. You know, I remember them sitting and teaching me, how much money do you want? I said, well, I don't know. Okay, so showing me how to work backwards, you know, and I've been blessed to have been around a lot of people that I picked up on all their stories, and I became a sponge. And so for me, I kind of felt, you know, everybody knows the Dwayne Bravo, as you said, but we know Dwayne party and we know him singing on a stage in Lara House. But we do not know that at 5 years old, 6 years old, this guy was every afternoon after school upstairs. I mean, he knew every single batsman from every single country because he was playing a game in his head, in the, you know, for himself.
As a matter of fact, I myself at a very young age, I used to do the same thing that Bravo was doing as a child because that's, you know, if you're playing cricket and you don't have a bat, the first thing you should do is pick up a stick and pretend it's a bat. But to take it to that level that Bravo was actually conducting it as
I mean, he had a
club-level
copybook.
boy.
He had a copybook, and he would tell you that if, well, I have no idea about cricket, but if Lara was batting against whoever, he knew he had to change his style, and he was literally forming that entire game in his head. A spin bowler versus a pace bowler and all of that, and he was forming it in his head.
Right.
When he was 10 years old, he'd met Richard Smith because he joined Queen's Park. And Richard Smith said to him, you need to put yourself in that game. And he said, well, I can't bat with these people, I'm too young. He said, but you want to bat against these people one day. And the faster you see yourself doing it, the faster you'll reach there. And at 10 years old, he's learning the whole idea of visualization. How many children at 10 years old are picturing themselves, you know? So my thing would be, if your son wants to play against Real Madrid, is he sitting down really picturing himself kicking the ball against so you are ahead of the time.
He's already playing with Cristiano.
You see?
He's hoping that he doesn't retire before he gets there.
You're ahead of the game. Because a lot of parents, and I come from a talented, I mean, I will always remember, you all remember Fana Ashby?
Yes, that name.
I beat Fana Ashby in school all the time. Some of the footballers, I've played, I trained with the national team in football, and I played with them. And for me, it was always seen at home as these are hobbies, these are hobbies, these are hobbies. You know, I have a cousin who, as a little girl, would race for about an hour with the boys. She just raising this football, and it was Sakai.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been very talented, but that talent has always been
wasted.
okay. It's just a hobby. It's just a way to keep fit. Go and study schoolwork. You know, and I feel
So what brought you to the book?
Right. What brought me to the book is, when I left the corporate world, guess what I actually turned to earn money? Sports. So I made a full 360 to go right back to what I loved, and that's what's helping me earn money. And I really honestly feel as if the same way the stories impacted my life, it can impact other people's lives. If you're a little boy or girl from Toko, and you don't have money to take a taxi to get to Port of Spain where the coaches are, then you can hold on to Keyshawn Walcott's story, who started coaching himself via YouTube. You know, Keyshawn would sell crab to buy stuff to be able to go to school. 2 days out of the week, he would have to take off to go and sell crab to go to school for 3 days a week. Keyshawn did well in school. Wow. Money didn't stop him.
Yes.
Wow. You know,
so it
Keyshawn
shows
went on to
determination.
A-levels.
So this book is on Keyshawn Walcott in particular, or does it include
it's several. It's several. Yeah.
And what is the name of the book?
Makes Sense to Me. CENTS.
Makes sense
to me. CENTS. Makes sense to me.
Excellent. And how long has it been published?
It is not published.
It's not published yet?
Well, it's there, waiting on funding. I am not a graphic designer. So that part is a lot of money, that particular part. Okay. It's sitting there. I thank God I have found someone, a graphic designer, who's decided he would partner with me and he would do that part for free. Well, of course, for a percentage of the profits after.
When that time comes.
Because what we were doing was I was hitting on the doors of the ministries. I thought it would be excellent for Ministry of National Security as a way to curb crime by changing the mindset.
Of course.
You know,
No luck
Ministry
yet?
No luck.
No luck yet?
No luck. Ministry of Sports. You know, I've gone to quite a few large companies, and that route seemed to be taking very long.
Okay.
So we decided what I would do is form a smaller book, a launch book, so to speak, called If I Can, You Can Too.
Okay. If I can,
you can too.
I like that.
And that one would be sold for profits, which would, because my vision for Make Sense to Me is to go into every hand free of charge, every child's hand free of charge. Because the truth is, those that need it will not go out and buy it, won't be able to afford it, they may not know about it.
You know something, Marsha, what I've noticed, you have explained the determination of Keyshawn and Stern and Dwayne and those guys, right? But what I've noticed from my experience, most of our talented, the ones whose talent is a little tip above the rest, oftentimes it is their parents who don't look at it, that sideline it. And these children may not have all of them may not have the know-how as how these other boys would have said to themselves, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
In all stories, you'll see their parents were behind it.
And and as a result, a lot of talent is wasted. And it really,
Absolutely.
and being in the football on a weekly basis, I see extremely talented boys, and their parents would not even buy them a socks.
You are absolutely
They would
right.
not give them a bottle of water, even if it's to fill it from the tap.
In my proposal, you'd actually see where, because the book is just the launch, because which is the reason I've gone to very large companies. Because the book is one thing. In my proposal, I say it's useless to ignite a fire in children to go home to a deadbeat parent.
Yes.
That's useless. And so from the book is one thing. I'm not a writer by profession, but of course my sales experience, I'm very good at speaking. So a seminar was developed before the book.
Okay.
So the book's gonna go in because of course you need something to go into the schools with, something to give out.
Yes.
And this was just different bits of advice that I picked up on. Actually, Mr. Alexander is the one that gave me the idea that you need a book as well as the seminar.
Right.
So the seminar would speak to the teachers and to the parents, because Dwayne would tell you, Riyad Emirates will tell you that their teachers helped them. Riyad had to miss a lot of school because he was playing for 3 different teams. He was missing 3 different days of school to go and play cricket.
Wow.
So his teachers would stay back with him
And help.
So you have to put in, of course, you have to put in the
but
extra
you
work,
need to have teachers and parents who are supporting you.
Yeah. A book like
And
this would definitely help the children.
That seminar is that part of it where you say, okay, look, one, you do a small test. There's something called a multiple intelligence test where you learn what's your natural child's ability. You know, we have this thing, my child is naturally musically gifted.
Yes.
You sing it to her, she's gonna learn it. You speak it to her, she's gonna watch you like, huh? You know? Learn how your child develops and then learn what are the natural careers that you can put them into. Stop forcing people this kind of, you know, square peg round hole.
Because there are a lot of parents try to have their ideals live through their children.
They want their children to be like them, you see. Some parents
whatever
want them
they
to go
didn't
that route.
accomplish, whatever they
Maybe
didn't
some of them are
accomplish.
lawyer, doctor, whoever.
Exactly. Or
and
this
they want,
traditional
you know,
roots. You know, well, you must be a lawyer, you must be a banker, you must be an accountant.
You must get into the family business, you know, that kind of way.
So, Marsha,
I want to find out about the homeschooling.
Yes, this busy
that's what I want to find out about.
Because,
here,
I mean, that is something that I consider, right?
Okay, we just have about a minute or two. So, we're going to just real quickly, tell us about the homeschooling.
Right.
Your decision to do that.
Well, 2 things. I mean, for me, growing up, I want my daughter to grow up as a Christian with sound values. I find now manners, faith, these things are being lost. So I want to be able to give her that foundation, and I feel that I'm the only one that I can give it to her. The other thing would be the multiple intelligence that I just spoke about. Tailoring the schooling to your child so that your child learns exactly the way for them, and they can have that time to develop and to grow.
So do you have to liaise with the Ministry of Education to get any type of curriculum, any specific books?
You can choose a curriculum of your choice. I personally choose something called My Father's World, which is a US-based curriculum. I know a lot of parents who've done homeschooling with US curriculums. They went and did SC just fine, they passed, topped the country, and all of those things. So you can choose any curriculum of your choice. You can go to Ministry of Education and get a curriculum.
But do you think that, I saw in the paper last week, some of the people from the Homeschooling Association were complaining that the SCA system is unfair to those children that are homeschooled.
It is, because when you go in, you no longer have the first year, I think it's first year or first standard 1 and standard 3. So you're going in without those percentages, so you have to do even better than everyone else.
Okay, so all right, does that put a little strain on the child?
Well, homeschooling puts no strain because they learn easier. It's one-on-one, so they're gonna learn much faster than everybody else. So they tend to excel, and they don't understand that they're about to do SE or anything like that. They just go in and.
Well, Marsha, can you give our viewers a contact number, your Facebook information, so they can find you as we're about to come to the end of this?
You can find me on Make Sense to Me, Make CENTS, Sense to Me, or Just Be Active Academy. If you go down to my t-shirt, it's there.
Be Active Academy.
Yes, because I'm about to coach.
Excellent.
Yes. And my number is 684-1200. I am on Facebook. You could find me. It's a public profile. Marsha Riley.
Contact number again?
684-1200 or Marsha Riley at gmail.com. justbeactiveacademy@gmail.com.
All right, Marsha, I want to thank you for coming through, and maybe we'll have you back again very soon. I love chatting with you. I could talk to you all day. So I tell you what, we're going to take up a no, but you see, I like this kind of conversation, you know, especially when it comes to young people and how we could
I agree.
groom them
the
and
next generation.
yeah, man.
Yes.
So I'll tell you what, we will take a break and when we return, 7 o'clock news is up next. Stay tuned.
Put a smile on your face, anytime, any place. Put a smile on your face with Devon chocolate digestives. When you want a quick snack, that's so nice. More than a mouthful, ooh, just right. Put a smile on your face, anytime, any place. Put a smile on your face with Devon chocolate digestives.
It's time to experience a new world in home entertainment. Shop at Quartz today for the latest in technology from the world's best brands and a chance to win the experience of a lifetime in Las Vegas for 2. Netflix subscription for 1 year. An all-expenses-paid sports party at the Lima Call CPL T20 semifinals and finals. Plus, get it all with ready finance and pay absolutely nothing for 30 days. You know you want it. Don't deny yourself anymore. Get it now. Only at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.